This article came out on May 2nd, 2024. Americans continue to name inflation as top financial problem. For 30 years in a row, the percentage of Americans naming inflation or high cost of living as the most important financial problem facing their family has reached a new high. The 41% of Americans naming the issue of inflation this year is up slightly from 35% a year ago and 32% in 2022. Before 2022, the highest percentage mentioning inflation was 18% in 2008. Inflation has been named by less than 10% in most readings since the question was first asked in 2005. So this is Gallup poll, guys. If you look at the chart, you can see 2005 was very low, and then as years goes by, it keeps going up. So you can't blame these people because the inflation right now is really high, and the cost of living is very expensive. So in order to beat this type of problem is to make sure you make your money works for you, and that's where passive income comes to play here. And on this channel, my channel, Think Passive, is all about this type of investment that you're gonna invest your money and make sure you generate weekly, monthly, or semi-annually income. So I'm gonna give you an update today on this ETF, which you're gonna invest and generate $1,000 every week. That's pretty cool. QDTE Nasdaq 100 zero DTE cover call strategy. QDTE utilize synthetic cover call strategies that seek to provide a current income on a weekly basis while also providing exposure to the price return of the Nasdaq 100. So this is a weekly basis, not monthly, because most ETFs actually, they do pay monthly, but this one pays weekly. So that's pretty good. So we look at the overview. This is the first thing we're going to look. Roundhill Nasdaq Zero DTE cover call strategy ETF, or the ticker symbol is QDTE, is the first ETF to utilize 0 days to expiry. Okay, that's the name, Zero DTE. Option on the Nasdaq 100. QDTE seek to provide an overnight exposure to Nasdaq 100 and generate income each morning by selling out of the money 0 to expiry call on the index. QDTE is an actively managed fund. The main reason why you're going to invest in this fund, there's three main compelling reasons. The first reason is that it pays weekly distribution. So QDTE seek to pay weekly distribution out of sold option premium. And second reason will be high potential. QDTE seek to generate a high income through a cover call strategy on the Nasdaq. So you're getting weekly income, and also you're getting high income or potential high income. And the third reason is to harness volatility. So you kind of use advantage of the volatility of the Nasdaq 100, and we can see the yield right now here is over 30%. But we look at the current price for today, and the last payment is going to be more than that. But if we go to fund details, we can see the ticker symbol is QDTE. Primary exchange is CWO, and expense ratio is 0.95. I mean, if you add a little bit more, there's more fees to that, so it's a little bit over 1%. Asset under management right now is 14 million. We look at when he came out on the March 7th, 2024. So it's been out, because today is May 8th, so it's been out about over 2 months. We look at, can you write option on this one? Yes, you can do option if you want to do options. And of course, management style is active, or very active actually. So when it comes to holdings of this fund, it does hold the Nasdaq 100, but again, this fund does not hold the Nasdaq directly. It does use synthetic strategy. So it's not, they don't hold those stocks of the Nasdaq like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. Rather the Nasdaq itself, which is this ticker right here, but they use call option, which also is not really holding. It's just more of leverage synthetically. So we look at the performance here. We can see performance. There's nothing much on this website because of course this fund is only been out for just over 2 months. But if we look at we can go to another website. We can see here Roundhill ETF Trust, Roundhill Nasdaq 0 today expiry QDTE Covered Call Strategy ETF. Right now the price is 43.75. You look at the after hours, it went up over 4%. Right now it's 45.52 or after hours, so we don't know if it's going to stay that way. That's just after hour trading. And we look at the 52-week range is between 42 to 49. So it went almost to $50. But if we look at the max on this chart here, performance chart, this is performance chart, doesn't include all the dividends that reinvested, so we look at it was all the way down, it was all the way up from like 46, and right now it's 43. So there's a little bit of capital depreciation there. You look at the distribution history because you're investing for distribution. So since inception, or since the fund came out 2 months ago, it's been paying actually, but we can see the payments have been kind of random, not consistent. So the first one was in March 28th 2024, and they paid about 36 cents, and then it went to 33, it went to 9 cents, it went 26, 33, 25, and 31 last payment of this May, which is going to pay the second week of May, which is going to be next just couple of days, May 10th. So the distribution, the good thing is they've been holding up to their promise of paying weekly, so that's a good thing. But of course they don't pay because there's no consistency in payment, so you don't get just 36 cents all the time. There's variation in payments, and because of this, that's why I have this spreadsheet I made for you to show you how much you can invest to generate $1,000 a week. Here we are. So because of this variation, what I did is I just did average, because if you do average, you're always going to be right, because you don't get the highest and you don't get the lowest, you just get an average, and average will be 25 cents. So if you're using this math of average, I'm going to show you both ways. If you average, or let's say for example you're hopefully and you go to the highest payment of 31 or 36, how much you're going to generate, and how much you have to invest to generate $1,000 a week. So the first one, we're going to look at the QDTE. The current price right now is 43.75, and with that current payment of 31, or the latest one is the current payment, right? So if we look at the 31 cents, that annual distribution will be 36%, or almost 37%. But if we go with the average on the price of today and the average price, the average dividend or distribution, we're going to get about 29.71, or about 30%. So still both ways are pretty high payment, because you never get 30% on any other stock, right? But we look at how much you need to invest. So now if you invest 104 on a current distribution, we go with the current distribution, meaning the latest one of May. So if you put 104, you're going to get 737 week, and then you're going to get annual income will be 38,320, and monthly income will be 3,193. If you want to get more, then you put 145, then you get about 1,027. See, that's a pretty good amount of money. And then annual income will be 53,426, and monthly will be 4,452. So again, this is a pretty good numbers. But now let's say for example you're not hopeful, you say, well, maybe this is just on the high end you're gonna get this much, right? You may even get more. For example, this is just 31 cents. I put on I think this one 31 cents. So if you go to the 36 cents, you're gonna get even more than that. But we're just gonna go with 31 for now because that's the last payment they did. So but if we say if you are a person who you want to do average, which I would assume most people should use this average ways, and so average pay, average up to now, because this average may change again, right? But for now, average we have is 25 cents. So at 25 cents, if you put 104, then you're going to get 594 per week. So that's about 2,575 a month. If you put 145, then you get 829, and that will be almost 43,086 annually. And then of course a monthly you're going to get 3,590. So either way, if you use this method of average or use this method of current distribution, so this is the highest, this is the lowest, use both of them. the payments here is pretty good. So for some people, for example, if you live in a small town, whatever it is, in some small city, very inexpensive places, you can literally just live with $4,000. But also, if let's say, for example, you have another source of incomes and this is just an extra, that's pretty good. So again, I just make this video to show you how you can actually generate $1,000 a month using Roundhill QDTE. So if you like this content, just make sure you give me a like, and if you don't want to miss any type of this update, just make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I always bring this type of update and update on ETFs that will generate you monthly or annual income. So I'll catch you next one. Bye bye.